Hey people, what's up? It's Jameel, and again we're back, and we're going into a series I'm creating like this week, this month. We're doing interviews with different sorts of people, and one of the things I've noticed is when it comes to contract stalking, the individuals who are involved in contract stalking, they like to play both sides of the fence. They like to work with cops or be involved with cops or be informants and set people up, turn people, and all this stuff. But at the same time, they're criminals and they send people death threats and they stalk people and they even hire people who are in the streets. They'll hire gang members to follow people. They'll do all sorts of criminal activity, but at the same time, they play both sides of the fence. And then they'll turn around and be like, I can imagine in my mind some of these contract stalkers who are involved with all this criminal activity at the same time, all over the country this stuff goes on. At the same time they're involved in all the criminal activity, they're playing both sides of the fence. Oh, we don't, we're stalking this guy and we're following him around and sending him death threats, but at the same time, we don't feel safe. These people are criminals that are involved with this stuff around the state and around the country. And they're informants and they're criminals. And I was so happy. I put some, growing up, I've always been a researcher. I've always been in touch with different aspects out there. Like I've been in touch with people who've had positions in government for my research. I've been in touch with people who've had positions, high level positions, in different sorts of colleges, universities. I've been in touch with different authors, book writers. I've been in touch with people from the streets. I know many of them, the real street guys. And I was so delighted to get a letter from Sanika Shakur, better known as Monster Cody Scott. Again, he's a good friend of mine. And of course, this is a letter from him. The people who know him know that's his handwriting. If you know him, you know that's his handwriting. And so, the first thing he said to me, I got your letter. It's good to hear from you again. He said, I often wondered what became of you. We haven't talked in a while. So this is something that what else did he, I'm reading that a little part of it. Your story, believe it or not, is not that uncommon. It's not that uncommon to overstand that as much as the U.S. enjoys parading and drag, as much as the U.S. enjoys parading and drag as a democracy or as a free country, this is perhaps the most controlled police state on the planet. And he knows how oppressive this country can be. And so reaching out to people, like, there should be no reason why people in the black community will sit there and follow black people around and set people up for crimes that they didn't even commit, or set people up for other crimes, but at the same time be out there involved in the same stuff themselves. That's insane. And so I'm grateful for occult forces and some of the shows we have coming up pretty soon. And what else is going on? We got a lot of guests coming up soon. But that's kind of how I want to leave. That's kind of my thought on contract stalking. These are a lot of people involved in contract stalking are cowards. These people are involved in like kidnapping women and probably child porn and selling drugs low key and all this stuff. And then they follow people around and scare people, and then sit there and play both sides of the fence and work with the police and stuff. Like that's my interpretation of it.